welcome to hi friends, welcome to electrical mind short videos. So today class is about the types of servo motors. So in our previous video we have seen about the mechanism and principle of servo motor. So many people some of the people commented after 1 year I uploaded the video. Some of the people commented um, so continue upload, please continue to upload the video continuously. So thank you for your interest. So from now onwards the daily videos will be frequently. I will upload the videos when I am free. So today topic is about the types of servo motors. With these types of servo motors, the first special motor servo motor will be completed. So I have already told in the previous video, servo motors are of two types. First one is DC servo motor, second one is AC servo motor. So the DC supply we give, when we give the DC supply, it is called DC servo motor. When we give AC supply, it is AC servo motor. First we see about the DC servo motor. So in this DC servo motor, it is splitted into, it is of four types of DC servo motors. First one is series motors, second one is split series motors, third one is shunt control motor, and last one is permanent magnet shunt motor. So let's see about the first one, series motor. So this DC servo motor, which is the type, is series motor. This series motor includes, this series motor has the high starting torque. I already told in the previous video that DC series motors, servo motors are used for the application purpose, which is low speed applications and for high torque applications. So next point is, in this DC series motor draws a huge current. This draws huge amount of current. This draws the huge amount of current. And next point is, the speed regulation of this series motor is very less. Speed regulation is very less for series motor of servo motor, DC servo motor. In DC servo motor, in this the efficiency can be reduced by using the series motor, by this method in the DC servo motor. So next classification of DC servo motors is split series motors. These split series motors are similar to that of the DC series motors with a partial kilowatts and rated with split field. So next point about the split series motors is this can be function as an individual energized field controlled motor. The function of this split series motor is individually energized by field controlled motor. So the point is, can be function as an individual energized field controlled motor. This is about the split series motor. And the last point regarding the split series motor is for this motor armature, the stable current must be supplied constantly. For this motor, the armature, stable current supply is needed. So the last point about the split series motor is for this motor armature, this motor armature can be supplied with the stable current. So stable, we must supply the current stable with stable constant with stable value, with stable or desired value. So yesterday in previous class I have already told that we must give the desired value. So the third classification of DC servo motor is shunt controlled motor. Next classification is shunt control motor. This is similar to DC shunt motor. This is similar to the DC series motor. This is similar to the DC shunt motor. So, this shunt control motor has two windings. One is field winding. Next one is armature winding. In these two windings, the field winding is located on the stator of machine. This is located on stator of machine. This is located on rotor of machine. The point regarding this DC shunt motor is the two windings are connected to DC source in parallel. In parallel connection, the two windings are connected. Connected across in parallel. So the last classification of DC servo motor is permanent magnet shunt motor. Regarding this permanent magnet shunt motor, the name itself says that it is a permanent excitation motor. The field is supplied by a stable magnet. The point is, this is a permanent excitation motor. The field is supplied by a stable magnet. So the next point regarding this permanent magnet shunt motor is the motor performance is same as the motor performance of this the motor performance is same as that of the armature controlled permanent magnet field motor. This is similar. Next point is the motor performance same to as armature controlled permanent field motor. So this is about these are the 4 classifications of DC servo motor. First classification is series motor, second one is split series motor, third one is shunt control motor, fourth one is permanent magnet shunt motor. Now we discuss about the AC servo motor. Okay, AC servo motor. This AC servo motor is also classified 3 types. DC servo motor is classified into 4 types. This AC servo motor is classified into 3 types. First one is positional rotational servo motor. Second one is continuous rotation servo motor. Third one is linear servo motor. Actually yesterday video I told that servo motor is a rotatory actuator or linear actuator. So the classification of rotatory actuator and linear actuator is in AC servo motor. So let's see about the positional rotation servo motor. This servo motor is the most commonly used servo motor because the output of the shaft in motor rotates with 180 degrees, and in this motor physical stops are placed in the gear mechanism. Yesterday in previous class we already discussed about the gear mechanism and to prevent gear arrangement to prevent rotating outside to protect the rotation sensor. Why we use gear mechanism is to prevent rotating outside the rotation sensor. Rotation sensor ni protect cheyadaniki manam gear mechanism, we use gear mechanism in this positional rotation servo motor. So the point is, so the first point regarding positional rotation servo motor is this motor is the most commonly used servo motor. So the next point is the output of the shaft in this motor rotates with 180 degrees. So exactly in servo mechanism, in servo motor mechanism and principle I have already told that whatever if we want to move an object with any particular specified angle, we can use the servo motor. So in the for this purpose, for this arrangement, the positional rotation servo motor, the output of the shaft of the motor is rotated at 180 degrees. The output of the shaft in motor rotates at with 180 degrees. So whatever the angle that we give, it will rotate at that angle only. For that specific angle, for that specific position only, we use the servo motors. So the last point regarding this is, in this motor physical stops, that means the last point is about in this motor physical stops. What is meant by physical stops means the movement of that object, The movement of that object or physical stops are placed in the gear mechanism to prevent rotating outside to protect the rotation sensor. That means in this we give the 180 degrees angle. Apart from this angle, the that object should not divert to the other angle. That means if this if a robot is designed for a linear motion, it should not rotate. It should not rotate. It should go in a linear path only. So this point, I will say the point. Mechanism stop prevent rotating outside to protect the rotation sensor. To protect the rotation sensor. So this is about the positional rotation servo motor. So the main applications of this positional rotation servo motors, this motor is mainly applied for the main applications of this positional rotation servo motor. Applications. First application, these motors are mainly used in robots. So robots, we all know that the motors, we use the motors in robots. So next application is in aircrafts and helicopters also. Aircrafts means it's helicopters also comes under this. And the third one is toys. This toys means we know that we all know that kids play with the toys. Those are it may be remote cars or some other toys. In that toys we have the small motors, which that for example, if we take the remote car, in that we have a small motor that used in the toys is this positional rotation servo motor. So the applications of the positional rotational servo motors are robots, aircrafts, toys, and etc. So the next classification is of AC servo motor is continuous rotation servo motor. So next classification of AC servo motor is continuous rotation servo motor. This continuous rotation servo motor is similar to that of the positional rotation servo motor, but small difference between positional rotation and continuous rotation is it will go in, if we give the input as linear path, it will go only in the linear path. But the name itself says continuous rotation servo motor means it will go in any direction. This is the small difference between the positional rotation and continuous rotation. Positional means a particular position is the servo motor is applied for a particular position. Likewise, if we see the example of robots, in robots we see that they will, if we give command to that robots, they will stop at particular position. If we give command to that robots, they will walk, they will run, or in which applications those are robots are made, they will perform that performance. So in continuous rotation it will continuous. So in continuous rotation servo motor, it will go in any direction without limit. So the next point is the potential commands will cause the motor for rotating in the directions of either may be in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise, or choose an altering speed based. That means The potential commands of this motor rotating is based on it may be in clockwise or anti-clockwise or some particular speed, altering speed based, altering base. So regarding this, what about the first point is, it is similar to positional rotation servo motor. Next point is, it can go in any direction without any limit. Without any limit. Third point is, the potential commands that cause the motor to rotate, either it may be in clockwise or anti-clockwise or based on the speed that we altered in the motor. So this is about the continuous rotation servo motor. So let's see the applications of this continuous rotation servo motor. So next, the applications of this continuous rotation servo motor is in radar dishes. Radar dishes means we all know that we already seen, it's like our cable dish type. So in last I will attach the pic of this radar dishes. It will continuously rotating it is continuously rotating, commonly sending purpose and receiving purpose. So in last I will attach a pic of the radar dish. Last and final AC servo motor classification is linear servo motor. Linear means it is a straight path, linear way. So this linear servo motor is similar to the positional servo motor, with extra mechanisms for changing the output from circular in the direction of back and forth. Changing the output from circular means it is a linear path, means it is a straight path. So this the extra mechanism for changing the circular output from circular to the direction of the back and forth. Back and forth means moving forward and backward, moving front and back. So the next point regarding the linear servo motor is, we can't find these motors easily. Why means, these linear servo motors are mainly used in the for advanced model aeroplanes. So occasionally we see these linear servo motors in hobbyist stores. Hobbyist stores means that means it is a craft suppliers or recreational items modeling for the crafts suppliers, where the craft objects, crafts stores we see these motors occasionally. See this and then they are used as the actuators. Actuators means a device which operates, or a device moving and controlling something. Actuator means a device which is moving or controlling something is called a actuator. So that's why the servo motor is called a linear actuator. Linear actuator means the object is controlled. The device which we use the linear servo motor, the object which is applied by the linear servo motor is controlled. The device is controlled. So this is about the linear servo motor. So regarding this, the first point is it is similar to positional rotation servo motor. Next point is with extra mechanism for changing the the output from circular in the direction of back and forth. Next point is we can't find these linear servo motors easily. Last point is occasionally we discover these linear servo motors in hobbyist stores. Hobbyist stores means craft suppliers stores. Occasionally we discover these motors in hobbyist stores. Hobbyist stores means which recreational modeling items and craft supplies are there in that stores. Recreational modeling items and craft supplier store. This is called a hobbyist store. So next point is they are used like actuators. They are used as actuators. Actuators means a device which operate or a device which moving or controlling something. A device which operates or moving and controlling something is called a actuator. So these actuators are mainly used in advanced airplanes. This is about the linear servo motors. With this, the types of servo motors are completed. Regarding this, the few more points regarding the servo motors is I would like to tell some 3 points regarding servo motors is. So regarding servo motor basic points, some points regarding the servo motor. This motor is of a servo mechanism and coupled with some type of encoder for providing positioning. Means we already know the servo motor works on the mechanism of servo mechanism, with that the with this servo mechanism is coupled with the type of encoder that providing the positioning speed feedback and fault correction apparatus, which acts as the supply signal to the motor. That means the servo motor which is connected with the coupled with the encoder means which gives the signal signal or feedback to the system, or are providing a particular positioning or fault correction apparatus, acts as the supply signal. So the point is servo mechanism and coupled with an encoder for providing positioning, speed feedback, and fault correction. Which activates supply signal. So when there is a fault, when there is a error, when there is a error, or if we want to give a particular positioning or speed feedback, how much speed it should rotate or move, it is all provided by the encoder, which supplies a signal. So next point regarding servo motor is the basic characteristic for servo motor includes output torque is directly proportional to the applied voltage. That means if there is a high torque, there must be a high voltage. Means torque is proportional to applied voltage. Means if we give the output of the torque is high, that means the applied voltage must be high. If it's inversely proportional, if it's inversely proportional, means what happens, if current increases, torque decreases. If it's inversely proportional, if it's directly proportional, means if voltage increases, torque also increases. So in servo motors, the basic characteristic for servo motors is output torque is directly proportional to applied voltage. If applied voltage is low, then the output torque is also low. If applied voltage is high, then the output torque is also high. So the last point is the torque direction which is expanded by the motor must be depending on the instantaneous polarity of the control voltage. That means the torque direction of the motor depends on the polarity of the control voltage. Point is the torque direction of the motor must be depend on polarity the polarity of the control voltage. So this is about the servo motor. So what we discussed in servo motor, the special motor regarding in electrical machines is, we have already discussed about the uh, mechanism of the servo motor and principle that works in the servo motor and types of the servo motors and the types of the servo motors. This is all about the servo motor. With this, the servo motor topic, the special motor is completed. So in next classes we will see the parallelly power systems and electrical machines, and slowly I will try to say other subjects also. So one key point, one note is about these servo motors. These special motors are mostly won't ask in any competitive exams regarding special motors. Mostly they won't ask, but why I am telling is, we must have minimum knowledge. If they suddenly if they ask any question, we must able to answer by knowing the basics. So that's why I told the servo motor. Basically from special motors mostly they won't ask any questions in competitive examinations. So if you like my video, please subscribe, share and like my video. Thank you so much for listening. And I will attach the radar dish photo in the last. And if anyone want any topic, if anyone want any video from any particular topic, then please comment me. I will try to do it. Thank you so much.